I saw you just completely shit on Post Malone. What's up with that, dude? Why do you call them mayonnaise records, bro? Like, what's up with all this? What's the whole background?
You know what it was? Post had made these statements one time that I didn't appreciate because it was like, yo, he came up in rap music, you know what I mean? So he had the song White Iverson, and you know, we had him on Breakfast Club back in the day. So he came up in hip hop, but then he made a statement. I'm paraphrasing now, but the statement was like, if you want to cry or listen to, you know, music that has a deeper meaning, you know, don't listen to rap or something like that. And I'm like,
but it kind of goes, but
like, not only did you come up in hip hop, but that's just not true. Like you heard what you just quoted from Pac. Like,
but that's what I'm going to ask you about too. Is like it goes back. We know Pac and we remember Pac and we remember some of the artists around that time that were bringing out this stuff about societal change and about, you know, the affliction of Black communities and the stuff that socioeconomic classes are going through. But when you look at hip hop now, even back to just like early 2000s, 2010s, the music started to change a lot. Post is so young that like I bet you the majority of what he bases around hip hop is pop a Molly, drink some lean, fuck a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And so like in a way, do you feel like we have, you know, hip hop has become watered down to a point where it's just like, yo, it's party music? Like
no, I think hip hop is nuanced and there's a lot of different types of hip hop. Like if I can go from Future to Kendrick Lamar just like that. You know what I mean? I can go from, you know, Rhapsody to the Migos just like that. Like, you know, like there's guys that rap about, you know, drugs and using drugs and selling drugs. And then there's people that have shit that got socially redeeming value in their music. Like there's so much dope ass content. There's too much content out here. You know what I mean? So if all you're hearing is that, then that's all you're listening to.
But don't you think it's being elevated more than the conscious rap? Like, don't you think that like in a lot of ways around the same time when the dealer, remember how the dealer used to get elevated? Jay was the guy, right?
Then they started celebrating the Fiend,
the user, right? Yeah. And so don't you think that like drug use mentality, that party mentality, that substance mentality is like elevated more than Kendrick, more than J. Cole?
I don't think so.
Like that?
Because if you look at the last like 12 years, right, and you look at the top 5 biggest rappers in the game, there's probably only one that's really the leader of that, and that was Future in a lot of ways. But Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake, they not on that. Yeah, and they've been the big 3-headed monster, you know, for the past 10 plus years.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think that's an unfair assessment of hip hop. I think when you're in the clubs or you might be listening to the radio, you might be hearing more of that. But nah, hip hop is very, 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 very diverse. Yeah. Very diverse.
So from my perspective, it seems to me that you're saying like if you came up from this culture, you should educate yourself and teach people about the culture.
Yeah, because there's people out there. You might have more eyeballs on you than the average person that, you know, knows the average hip hop artist. Yeah. Right? Because you're Post Malone. So if you're in a mainstream publication and you're having that conversation, why would you shit on the culture that you came up in? Like that didn't make no sense to me.